If you're like me, you probably forgot or didn't know that there is a ton of content still coming to Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. A new update just dropped, new features like being able to own shops like a blacksmithing forge, a barber, plus all the upcoming DLC. There's the new update that just dropped the other day that brought a few fixes, but not a whole lot. This was the first update since the day one patch, at least on Steam. From what I've heard, PS5 is basically unplayable at the moment with crazy audio issues. There's also a lot of light flickering, brightness issues, blacksmithing problems with a certain quest item, so hopefully that's fixed up soon, hopefully in the next update. Other people are also having issues with combat bugs where you get stuck in the middle of an animation or being unable to use some of the basic mechanics like throwing rocks. If you're having issues on PS5, it might help to go into your settings and turn off the haptic feedback for your controller until it's patched. I've seen people saying that helped with at least some of the issues. On PC, I haven't run into too many bugs, but consoles sounds pretty crazy, man. The biggest things that I've had are the NPCs wanting to fight over nothing, this bug that makes me think I could no longer craft tier 4 weapons because they all say tier 3, so I was trying to craft them for like a solid hour, and then I looked in my inventory and they actually are tier 4, they're just not showing up as tier 4 in the notification after you finish smithing. But what I really want is the recipe for the Night Sword to be fixed, because currently you can't even craft that thing and it's probably the best weapon in the first region, or would be if you could smith it to a tier 4. Also, in Trotsky Castle, towards the end of that segment of the story, it gives you a warning that this is the point of no return for a little bit, and you need to do the demon hunting quest before progressing. Well, a bug currently makes it so that if you see that warning, it's already too late. You can't do that quest anymore because it doesn't tell you that until after talking to Von Burgo. But if you've already talked to him after what happened in the basement, it's too late because one fireplace that you need to find is located in Von Burgo's room, which is now locked. So if you haven't done that side quest for the Chamberlain yet, do it before speaking to Von Burgo after he sends you and Hans to the basement. I had to reload a save and redo some of that, and then do the Demons of Trotsky quest, which it is probably one of the most memorable quests in the game, so it's kind of sad that not a lot of people can do it. I also have a bug where I can't access my room with the blacksmith in Takov anymore. It doesn't appear to be an intentional thing since, I can still access the room in Trotsky Castle, and I never made a decision to make the blacksmith mad. This was my favorite bed too, so it's kind of annoying. Before continuing on with the video, my rent is due. So thanks to a game you've never seen an ad for on YouTube ever, this game already has an endless amount of content and they just keep on adding more. Right now, if you use my QR code or click my link down in the pinned comment and description, you can get 2 epic champions for completely free, TALLIA and my personal favorite, Drake. If you're a new player, you can use the promo code Monkey King to get the legendary hero Sun Wukong. On top of all of that, after logging in for 7 days, you'll get the legendary hero who I'm really excited to unlock, Alice the Wanderer, for free, who is part of the Raid Shadow Legends limited time event featuring 5 new Alice the Wonderland inspired heroes who you can add to your collection. Those being the Cheshire Cat, the Mad Hatter, Knave of Hearts, the Queen of Hearts, on top of Alice the Wanderer, who you get just for logging in. The designs of these 5 characters are all some of the best in the game in my opinion. And from now until March 5th, you'll be able to participate in an event dungeon against the Queen of Hearts where you can get some of the awesome rewards like the Pinpoint gear set and collect 5 legendary champions throughout the month. If you log in for another 7 days, 14 total, you get even more really good gear. You don't have to log in every day in a row, just 7 days total for Alice, 14 total to get everything, and you just need to start before March 26th. My advice is to at least click the link, grab the free heroes, and at least try out the game. If you don't think you'll play right now, at least you don't miss out on all of this free stuff. For new players, you want to run through the campaign and then start going into raids, which are the most advanced part of this game. Raid Shadow Legends is cross-platform and can be played from your mobile device as well as a PC or a MacBook. Don't forget to click the link down in the pinned comment and the description or scan the QR code to get the 2 free epic heroes and all of this really cool stuff for free. Thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring the video. Typically when a new game, especially a single player game, has a whole roadmap before release, including updates and new features, I'm like, why didn't they just release it with that in the game already? It sounds like a cash grab.
Here you are, but don't draw attention to yourself. Crystal clear.
But with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I don't really care. I'm happy there's still more content coming to the game, but there is so much content already in this game that I just don't care if they kept some of the stuff for the future. I'm over 100 hours into it, and I still feel like there's a lot more that I haven't even seen. It feels like a limitless open world that improved in every single way since the original. Yeah, you'll have people hating on how much easier the combat is, and I agree the combat is easier, but it also makes sense, right? The first game was hard because they started you off as a peasant with nothing, No skills, no combat experience, just some dude whose home got raided and had to run away. They kinda made this second game make sense for why you have to start off weaker and have this sort of reset, but it'd be a little weird if the game just started off as hard as the other one, as if Henry just forgot everything he learned. It's also just done probably for accessibility. This game is a lot easier to pick up for anyone than the first one was. Granted, you still have a lot of people complaining that it's too hard, and I get it, it's not for everyone, but I remember back then, Kingdom Come got a lot of crap at release because it was too hard and kind of like convoluted with information. A lot of it seemed complex for really no reason. The biggest thing that was in the first game that isn't in KCD2 yet is the barber shop. In the first game, you visited the bathhouse and could pay the bathmaids to get you right. You only had a couple of different options between head and facial hair, but most of it just looked better with the default stuff. Well, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 said, to hell with all that, and just didn't include the feature. But it is coming in an early update. If it's anything like the game itself, there will be more hair and facial hair options than the original. That's how everything with the second game's been so far. I can't really think of anything besides like the barbershop, the hairstyles, that was lessened in this game. To be honest, once I realized there was no barber in this game, I was fine with it. It's cool to have the customization, but it feels like a little more immersive not having that option, or at least seeing yourself in a cutscene without a fade. Horse races will be coming in around the same time. The updates are coming in spring of this year, by the way, so somewhere between the end of March and the end of May is when this is planning on releasing. I actually hate the horse races in here. Some of these guys have like rocket-propelled horses for some reason. You really need like an upgraded horse to even win some of these. I don't even think you can win some of the first region's races that go along with the story unless you have Pebbles fully upgraded. But horse racing might be a decent way to make some money in the future. If you played the first game, you might also be wondering where the heck Hardcore Henry is. It's yet another thing coming in the spring update. Some people were annoyed over this because it's a feature you'd expect to be in right away, but I've seen people saying that maybe it's not so bad an option, so that now maybe the developers will use this to their advantage with all of the player data that they should have now to make it even harder and feel better once the bugs are fixed up. One of the coolest things I liked about hardcore mode in the original was the random death screens that you'd get sort of as a joke to show just how hard it would be for Henry to even survive in these times, to even make it to the point where we meet him in the game. Like one death screen on starting hardcore told you that you died at birth. Other ones would say things like Henry got sick and died. Whoops, guess you have to restart, even though you hadn't even really started the game yet. There were also some pretty realistic debuffs that you'd have to pick from when you started your game, like a tapeworm for example, so then Henry would need to eat a lot more and get hungrier faster. I think small details like that are really what made the first game so dang good despite all of its issues. And on top of all of that, they've announced that official mods will be coming to the game soon, which will likely add a lot of replayability to it, you know, since then you can turn Henry into Shrek while riding the Thomas the Tank Engine horse. There's also 3 different DLCs or expansions coming to the game, which are all included in the Season Pass that came with the Gold Edition of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and all of these will expand on Henry's story. First with the Brushes of Death, where you help out some mysterious artist coming this summer. Then you have Legacy of the Forge coming a few months later, where you will restore a forge in Kuttenberg. I'm not sure if they mean the city of Kuttenberg or somewhere in the region. I hope it's in the region somewhere outside of the city. I love the city in the game, and it surprised me with how absolutely gigantic it is, especially when it's your first time coming to the region. It shocked me how much more there was to this game, but I just think it has enough going on within the city itself already. It sounds like it might be a bit like the From the Ashes DLC from the first game, which was sort of like a lower effort city builder. I'm just hoping the forge and whatever else we might be building will give us like an actual bed and home that we can keep returning to. Maybe we can hire some blacksmiths to automate some income with the forge. I don't know, maybe that's asking for too much. But I guess we'll find out when it releases sometime towards the end of the year, between September and November. I think the monastery mission from the first game is the most hated and most loved quest in the game, depending on just who you ask. It's kind of like the original version of the For Whom the Bell Tolls quest that's in this game. Some people hate it, some people love it. I personally hated the For Whom the Bell Tolls quest at first, but now I think it's one of the better quests in the game. Anyways, now they've made a new monastery DLC. It might just be a similar name because they both take place in a monastery. Who knows if quests will be similar to that one, but it's coming at the end of the year in the winter season called Hysteria something. I don't know the actual name, what this says. But that's where we'll be venturing to some sort of like monastery to stop the outbreak of a deadly disease. All of that coming this year, 2025, so we have a lot more content to look forward to. It's pretty exciting. But let me know down in the comments, do you wish they would have just added this free update content to the game at release? Have you run into many bugs while playing? I personally haven't, but a lot of people seem to be running into a lot. But that is pretty much it. Leave a like and subscribe for more Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and thank you to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring the video. Don't forget to click the link down in the description to claim all of the free stuff that I went over. See ya.